So now I'm going to show you how to make some fudge novelties. We're going to do some fudge covered apples and some fudge covered marshmallows. With the apples, try and get a Granny Smith or something that's quite sharp because it offsets the sweetness of the fudge. There are two types of sticks that we use. One is a square stick, which we use for apples, and one is a smooth round stick, which we use for marshmallows. Largely that's because people tend to eat the marshmallows off the stick, but they cut the apple. So I'm just going to show you the stick going into the apple. It goes in at the end of the stalk. Leave the stalk on and just push it in so it's 2/3 of the way through. Don't let it come out the bottom, that's the most important thing. Now I'm going to do these in the kettle. I've got some chocolate fudge that's been running. I've added a little bit of water to it to make sure it's nice and liquid. Otherwise you get an awful lot of fudge on the apple. So I'm going to turn the kettle off. Dip the apple so there's a little bit of apple showing. Most of it's covered with fudge. You'll be surprised just how much fudge there is on this. Now, holding the apple in your left hand, I'm right-handed, I'm just going to turn it gently whilst holding a spatula against the side of it. And that will just scrape off some of the fudge. I'm going to move the spatula slowly down to the bottom of the apple. There's not too much on there. Now, you can cover this in lots of things. We have people who make farmyard animals, witches for Halloween, zoo animals, you name it, use your imagination, there's lots you can do with this. I'm going to cover this simply in hundreds and thousands. So you roll the apple from end to end in the tray. Don't leave it in one position because you tend to just rub a bare patch in the tray and it doesn't coat very well. So we can leave that there now. It'll take 10 to 15 minutes and that will be set, ready to put in the pan. I'm going to do another one now and cover it in some coconut. So again, it's just the same. Scrape off some of the fudge. You'll know if you put too much fudge on these. It'll just slide off onto the paper. This is going to be covered in desiccated coconut. If you're really adventurous, you could do a batch of vanilla fudge and a batch of chocolate fudge and have a double layered apple. There we go. And again, I'm going to leave that to set. Now I'm going to show you some marshmallow pops. As I said earlier, these are done on a round stick. There is one little trick to this, which is just wet the stick before you put the marshmallows on it. If you do that, the marshmallows slide on nice and easily. If you try and do it without wetting the stick, you'll leave half the marshmallow on the end of the stick. Put 4 or 5 on a single pop. I'll use 4 on this one. And again, you can do this inside the kettle. Just going to give it a little mix, just because it does tend to solidify on the top of the fudge. If you lose a marshmallow in the kettle, don't worry about it, it'll just mix in. There's a lot of fudge on there, so again, just going to gently scrape the marshmallow. Almost want to scrape off all of the fudge. And then roll it again, this time in coconut. And leave it to set. Now when these apples are set, you just need to package them up. And we provide plastic containers for that purpose, which just simply are kept together with one of our labels.